Welcome to How Can She Snap, the Marvel Snap podcast catered to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros. I'm joined with my brother from the same mother, allegedly,
No
Mr.
big deal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. This week we got a spicy little podcast. We're gonna be talking about the latest OTA changes that just dropped today. Iron Lad, High Evolutionary. Of course, we got to talk about those stonks. And we're gonna get into a little bit of the monetization model of Marvel Snap, how they're making the big bucks, what they can do to change it, what we like, that kind of stuff. All right, let's get it. The kid. All right. No big deal. How are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. Sun is starting to shine. We got early summer. The big lad
Nice.
just came out.
It did, huh?
Sometimes you got to spend $100 on the card game. It is what it is. This is why we
It
work hard.
is
This
what
is
it
why we put
is.
in those hours.
That's it. That's it. So how's your week been in Marvel Snap? What have you been seeing? We've
I've
had the
only
last this
I've only played the lad only because I
yeah.
paid 6,000 tokens for him. So I tried about 9 different decks with the lad. The
Yeah.
stature Jeff Miles deck is clearly the deck that everybody's playing right now.
Yeah.
It's the new kind of Shuri deck that everyone's playing. I don't feel like it's as strong as those decks. I don't mind playing
Me
against
either.
it too much. But it is a really good deck. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm seeing these days is that
Yeah.
stature deck. But
Yeah, I see
yeah, man, it's
I
been a
see a
fun
lot
week.
of yeah, I see a lot of that deck too, and I
Mhm.
honestly I don't find it really oppressive, to be honest with
No,
you.
it doesn't feel oppressive.
Um
Yeah.
I beat it a lot of the time.
hmm
Sometimes it gets me.
hmm
Sometimes I get black bolted and I'm like, "Ah, crap, I cannot deal with the stature, a one
Sometimes he's
cost
American
stature on turn
Sniper.
6."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Ah, nope."
Mhm.
The great thing is when I'm playing discard and he snipes my swarm, I'm like, "Thanks, bro."
Well, this card's a
Y
matchup for sure. That I think
Yeah.
favored against that deck for sure.
Yeah, and it's like,
Mhm.
"Alright, you get a 1 cost 7, I get a 0 cost 6."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so it's pretty it's good in that sense. But yeah,
Mhm.
even other decks that I've been playing, it's not like I tried playing it a few times. I'm not in love with the deck. I don't have as much fun as I thought I would, but I didn't really play it that much.
Yeah, I was trying to
Um,
tell you that last week when you were debating just spending the 3K or waiting a week because it's gonna drop like next week. And I'm
yeah.
like, it's good, but like it's not that fun. Like you get bored after like 2 days. It's like
Yeah, no, I think Stature is gonna be good. I want to try and throw Stature Black Bolt combo in other decks like
yeah,
Sarah
yeah.
Control and stuff.
hmm
Like if you don't draw Sarah, you can throw Black Bolt. I want to try that kind of stuff. But
hmm
no, Stature drops I think in like June or something. It's a while.
Oh,
It's not next week.
I thought it was next week. My bad.
No, no. If it was next week, I would not have spent the 3K tokens.
Mhm.
I'm not that rich.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
yeah, what do you think about the changes from last week? Luke Cage, Collector, Orca.
I
Have you seen any?
no, honestly, I haven't messed around with Collector. I mean, I'm seeing like content creators try to make stuff around it, but I haven't really seen it on the ladder.
Yeah,
I think the Luke Cage one outside of Cerebro 2, because we kind of talked about it, how Cerebro 2 still kind of sucks last week because I actually got to play some games with C2.
yeah,
Still the same old Cerebro, just you got a little bit more power, but you had a million enchantresses running around, so they just own you.
yeah,
And the deck obviously has a bunch of problems to begin with. But
yeah.
Luke Cage is the one standout out of those three to me that feels like it doesn't feel too bad just playing a 2/2 Luke Cage. Kind of like when you play 2/2 Daredevil and you're
Yeah,
like, okay, well, it's 2 power. Like it feels fine. Like Daredevil feels strong even just as the 2 power. Luke Cage
yeah,
kind of feels like that now. It's a big difference between 1 and 2, which is kind of weird. I didn't
yeah. Oh
think I
yeah,
would feel it, but that's the one that stands out. I haven't seen any
yeah.
Orca, and I haven't seen any, or the collector discard decks are kind of wild, but they seem really inconsistent. Like Hella, they basically seem
I
like Hella decks.
I was gonna say that I threw Collector in some discard decks and I
Mm.
played a bit with it, and it's very hit or miss, and it's like inconsistent. You get a Collector that's like 2/7, 2/8, or
Mhm.
you get one that's like 2/3, and you're like, I could have done without him in the deck.
I'm sure it's good in
It just
Dino. Like if you're just playing some Dino Shield, like it's probably pretty good, right? But I don't know. I just haven't. I got Iron Lad, so I didn't play any collector.
Yeah, with all the enchantresses running around the last week,
Mhm,
that playing Dino was kind of like, hey,
mhm.
do you want to just get enchantress and lose?
Give me give
So
me the zap.
I mean, you could tech in Cosmo. Technically, you could tech into Cosmo that
Yeah,
deck
most
too.
Dino
But
decks have a
uh,
Cosmo, but you don't always get it, you know? And maybe
yeah,
maybe you want it for your Darkhawk or, you know, I don't know, for your Mystique
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Luke Cage, I think is going to be good. Particularly because there's another card coming out in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, for high
That
elo, yeah. Yeah.
that they're gonna need Luke. People are gonna need Luke Cage as a counter to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, yeah, collector. I think is a good buff. I think he'll find his niche. It'll be
Mhm.
fine. Orca
Yeah.
still probably needs a little bit more help. 6'11" seems great though.
Mhm.
Um, but I still haven't seen it. So like I haven't seen it in the meta. I think I played against one guy who had Orca, and I was like, all right. I think I still beat him, and it was like, all right. So it has. I haven't really seen too much changes from
One
that,
thing I
but
will say, even though, it didn't really shake the meta too much, the last changes, I do prefer those kind of changes to the ones they did recently and 2 weeks ago, which I'm okay with the ones they did recently too. Like they're all great. The OTAs are awesome in general. Like I'm loving these
yeah,
OTAs. Like this is like fun to play Marvel Snap. But I do like the idea of let's take like the shittiest card in the game, like Orca, and just buff the crap out of it. Like I would love to see like a big Medusa buff. I'll talk about it when we talk about Drax, on the new ones. Like I
yeah,
don't like that change. That's like a weak change to me. But like Orca is like, whoa, here's Orca, and it's like,
yeah,
he's coming, and it still kind of
yeah,
seems underwhelming, but like at least he's a beast. I saw Binks was playing a
yeah,
deck with Sandman Ramp, and he's playing Heimdall, move everything to the
yeah.
left on 5, and then
Orca,
Orca
yeah.
right on 6. I'm like, that's kind of cool. You can do shit like that
That
now.
that's
And
the deck he
you
took
beat
to
out the
infinite.
Destroyer.
Yeah, he took that deck to infinite actually.
Oh, wow, good for him. Man. That's
That
lit.
it's I mean it's like that deck is what got him infinite. I think
Yeah,
he plays like he like plays a new deck every day. He makes a brand new deck every day. That's kind of
yeah.
what he does.
Well,
But that
that's
specific deck
crazy
is
because
what
that's the hardest time to rank up is that high 90s. Uh,
yeah, the Heimdall
so maybe
that's a deck
Orca's
I
like
want to try.
legit. Like maybe that was a good change.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would say like this kind of going on that a little bit. I guess we can get into it. I was going to talk about some of the let me talk about one of the decks I was playing this week and just having some fun with before I get
Hmm.
into the all the OTA stuff. I brewed a little spicy Thanos Galactus deck.
Pull it up. You got Venom on the screen, right?
Oh yeah, I do have it.
Pull it
Oh
up
yeah,
for the
sorry, I forgot
people.
I have this stupid screen. I'm a
Yeah.
idiot.
No, it's all
No,
good.
not
I'm
this one.
good.
This
I can
this
see
one
the
will be
screen for
fun.
once, so this is good.
Where is it? This one.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Nice.
it's got Psylocke.
Mhm.
I changed it a little bit. I started with a different shell and then I put different stuff in it. So it's got
Mhm.
Psylocke, Carnage, which I just took out.
All right, Pete.
Beaver, get him in there. Psylocke, Carnage, Killmonger, Wave, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Null, Galactus, Leader, She-Hulk, Thanos, Death.
That's wild.
I love it.
Yeah,
I had
Thanos in
Yondu.
there is a trip for sure.
Yeah,
But
I had
Space
Yondu
Stone
in there,
makes
and
sense. You can make room with Space Stone to play the
yeah.
Galactus.
Oh, it's so nice. You bamboozle so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Yondu in there, and I recently just took him out for Carnage because I was having space issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's man, this deck is so much fun. People just do not see it coming. It's
No,
so
and the
funny.
thing is
Like,
with Yondu, they do.
yeah,
First thing
that's
I
true.
think when I see
But
Yondu is, all right, here we go. Where's my
well,
Galactus counter?
yeah. Well, if
Yeah.
you just play Yondu, but if you're playing Stones and then you
Mhm.
play the Yondu,
Yeah.
then like I think a lot of times people still don't think it's
They'll think it's
Galactus. They probably think it's
Thanos
like
death. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, Thanos Death Destroy, which
Yeah.
I'm happy with them thinking it's that.
Yeah. That's a
So
pretty
it's great,
dope.
and just Killmonger gets so much value. So when you Galactus, like death is like almost always zero because you
Mhm.
destroy all your stones. Whereas if you're playing normal Galactus, it's like death doesn't always get to zero.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's only got the one little oppressive Spider-Man crap, which I don't think I pulled off that combo too much. It's just the other stuff. Like then the leader tech in here is so fun.
Mhm.
Just wave leader, then they play their big card, then you play Galactus, and they don't have any answers. It's just I've actually been ranking up quite a bit with this. This has been the
Yeah.
main deck that I've been ranking up with, and it's
That's
just
a filthy deck for sure.
yeah, I haven't
I like it though.
um
People are getting creative with Galactus, not
uh
just the same list that everyone's playing. I like to see it.
yeah. So this one I brewed myself. I didn't like
Mhm.
net deck this, so I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like I'm sure there's probably a list exactly like it out there. I'm sure
mhm,
there is, but
yeah.
anyways, I actually didn't filthy casual net deck that.
Nice.
This one I did. Do you know who Teddy Ninja is?
No, I never heard of them.
Okay, he's a good YouTube guy. He's
Mhm.
awesome. Seems like a nice guy, good content creator. He had a negative, Mr. Negative Galactus
Oh, okay, the two
that
six.
he just ripped to infinite. I actually was bored yesterday, and I think he got infinite yesterday. He went from like 93 all
Mhm.
the way to infinite with this. It's
Jesus.
got Psylocke, Carnage, and so this one I just ripped off him yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play this at some point.
Mhm.
Psylocke, Carnage, Zabu, Mystique, Venom, which is better now. Mr. Negative, Shuri, Iron Man, Nimrod, Arnim Zola, Null, Galactus.
Yeah, you got the
Dirty.
Zola too, Zola Venom and too. You could just play this thing. This deck got strictly better now from the buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Oh, he had Iron Lad instead of Shuri, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but he said that like if he didn't have Iron Lad, for sure he'd be playing Shuri because it synergizes with everything else in the deck.
Yeah, Nimrod. Shuri Nimrod's a classic. Well, I think
Yeah.
Shuri's really good with Iron Lad, just in general. Like you want to copy Shuri, obviously, 4/6 and with
Yeah.
Shuri's effect is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So
So and this is
some
what
of them I try to jam both in.
yeah, that's one I do want to try.
Mhm.
But yeah, but my Thanos Galactus, just hilarious deck, hilarious. And it's not like, and when I first got Galactus, like what was it, like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I played the generic Galactus, but like I don't know, I found I was quickly getting bored of that play style.
Mhm.
It's so like play this, then play this,
Yeah.
then play this. It was kind of like Shuri.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Shuri. I actually kind of felt like because I played a little bit of Shuri
Mhm.
last season or 2 seasons ago, whatever it was, the X-Men season.
Mhm.
And I felt like I had to think a little bit more with that deck
Yeah.
than I did with like the
At
Galactus.
least you're trying to dodge Shang-Chi and stuff on the Shuri list.
Yeah, like if you didn't draw your Cosmo, then you're like, oh, okay, you have some decisions to make. If you
Yeah.
didn't draw your cards, like
Mhm.
with the Galactus one, it's like okay, like if you don't draw Galactus, then you're just like whatever. It's just it gets
Yeah.
boring after a while.
But then if you're
It's
playing the
fun to
Thanos
do
list, you got some play still.
yeah, it's fun to do the thing a couple times, but yeah, the Thanos one's great because
Mhm.
I don't play Galactus a lot of the time. I like
Mhm.
rarely play him actually. Like I'm winning with all the other stuff.
Mhm.
It's like really not Galactus. That's like because the null gets up big too when you start destroying things.
Yeah.
Even Shang Chi, like you get Monster's Isle and then you Shang Chi their monster, null gets up to 9 immediately.
Yeah.
Then you're carnaging things, you're killmongering things, and it's like he gets up there.
Yeah.
You killmonger a 1/5 Nebula, null's getting big.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, so that's good. I thought this was a really fun deck, and I was just I'm gonna be playing it a lot more. It's hilarious.
Looks like we're getting our 6K tokens worth last week.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We gotta get our
That's
money's
the
worth.
reason, That's the reason, yeah. Um, so you wanna talk about the new changes?
Yeah, the new
The
OTAs.
new OTAs that dropped today?
Sure.
Let
Yeah,
me
let's
let
do it.
me let me get to the screen here. Here we
Mhm.
go. May 11th balance update. So I'll read it. I'll read every one and then we can talk about it.
Cool.
First one, Drax was a 4/5. Then on reveal, if your opponent played a card here, +3 power. Now 4/6 with the on reveal effect of if your opponent played a card here, +2 power. So essentially, he becomes a 4/8, but his just base stats are a little bit higher, which makes him a little better. Strict buff, I think here. And they say the Guardians can create some of the most exciting gameplay in Snap with their predictive playstyles. While they've been doing better with the release of Nebula, they're still performing poorly overall at the moment. Out of all the Guardians, Drax stood out to us as the clearest buff candidate compared to the other cards like Rock Slide and White Queen with good stats and a guaranteed upside. Drax had below average stats for very inconsistent upside. We're giving him small buff by moving some of his power from his ability to his base stats to improve his baseline performance. What are your thoughts?
I have a I have an opinion on this change here, and again, I love that they're doing these OTAs, and just the fact that they're buffing Drax is good. So don't get me wrong, I'm not ungrateful, but I hate this change honestly, and here's why. This is the first week this season since we are in the Nebula season that I've even touched the Guardians cards because they obviously suck. And I didn't even play them in pool one. Like, did you play them in pool one and two? Like, I don't know, just play Odin and shit, like in Zoo.
No.
You don't need to. They even suck in pool one. So that's how you know they're bad. But Nebula, gives them some play. And the first line in there is spot on. They say the Guardians create some of the funnest gameplay. It's so true. It feels really good to just got him on Star Lord.
Got him.
It's
Yeah.
Gamora's like, I'm like, oh, that's like you nut, It's like that's the Giga nut,
Yeah.
But it's like it's a real nice. Like I really like the way the Guardians feel, and this change makes it worse. A +2 on a 4 drop. This is weak. This is some pussy shit. I don't like it. This is what I think Drax should read. Okay, you ready? 4/3 +7 when a card is played here. That's what he should read. This is garbage. I don't know what this is. 4/8, like Jessica Jones easily gets 4/8. Crossbones easily gets to 4/8. Drax, it's like it doesn't always work. Like you don't always get them. And your reward is an 8. Like I don't know. Like Gamora gives you a 5/12. So I don't know. I don't like this change. I realized this week it's very clear if I could rank the Guardians, it's like very easy. You got Gamora 1, Star Lord 2, Raccoon.
Besides Nebula, right?
Yeah. Not just the OGs that give you power when
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
play.
Okay.
Yeah, not Nebula. Nebula obviously won. Yeah, but Raccoon 3, and then I would say then Drax, then Groot. Drax and Groot are trash, but I don't think this is the way to fix them. I like more upside, like
Well,
make it more fun. You have locations in this game that like don't even let you play the game. Like you're weird world. You're swapping decks. You're doing great. Galactus blowing up planets and like +2. Come on, man. What is this? I don't like it.
yeah, maybe
Weak.
I kind of agree and disagree. I
Mhm.
I I agree with that he should probably have more of an upside for hitting his thing. Like 2 power kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, great. Now I have a 4/8." Like
But then if it
make
goes
him
to
make him
9, he
a
gets cheated, right? So I would like them to go to 410 personally. If you got to move him down to
yeah.
4/4 for that, then that's fine.
Yeah, if you want to do like 410, it's tough because the problem with 410 is then you like have a strongman stats and his like it's not as hard to get this than to get strongman, but then do you got to buff strongman, but then do you power creep everything up? Like
No,
I don't
no.
know.
Then you just put it to like a 4/2 base power.
But
Plus,
then like that's
plus
then
8.
he'll never get played.
But this kind of deck, you can control where they play their cards. So like Daredevil, you're shutting down lanes with Storm. We'll get into it because I'm gonna talk about a
Yeah,
deck that the GG deck I've been running with Lad is really really strong,
yeah,
and you definitely can get it off like pretty reliably in a Guardians deck specifically.
yeah,
But why would you ever play Drax? Like I was playing Rescue instead of Drax. Like it's just ridiculous.
yeah. That's true. I like the fact that his see the thing I disagree with you on is I like that his base power is higher because that when he doesn't hit, at least you don't feel as bad.
Maybe the only other thing I could think of is make him a 6 power card.
Just make him the big boy.
He's big. He is a big boy, right? I mean, he's like Hulk, right?
Yeah,
He's like the Hulk of the Guardians. Why not?
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
If he hits, he becomes like a 15 or something. Six
That'd be
six
pretty
ten
awesome.
610 +5, something like that.
that'd
Let's
be
go.
that'd be pretty great actually.
Yeah, like I don't know, like but this
I
this
like
is
that.
this is just a weak card. Like whatever, it's okay. It's okay. Like I don't care. Like I don't watch the movies. Like I don't give a shit. Like whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I know, I hear you. But like
These cards
it's
they
true.
are
This
really
is like
fun to play. Like they're super fun.
like they're trying. They're trying,
Yeah.
So
I'm
like
happy they buffed them. I am happy they
I
buffed
think
them. I'm not
I
chirping
think
like that way. I just think it's
no,
weak.
I know. I do too. I think
Mm.
like with this, it'll make more people be able to play him
Mhm.
because they won't feel as bad with a 4/6 when they miss.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
whereas if you make him a 4/2 +10 or whatever, people won't play him.
I'll play
You will. Most people will be like, "What? Screw that."
them.
But
4
yeah,
times pretty good.
I think still no one's gonna play him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think good.
Mhm.
Good. I'm glad they buffed him a little bit. Let's see what happens, but
Mhm.
I think he's gonna be whatever irrelevant still. Personally,
Yeah,
I'd
I
rather
agree.
just play Crossbones. I'd play Crossbones all day over him
I agree.
easily.
100%.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Old boy rock slide.
Mhm.
4-6. Shuffle two rocks into your opponent's deck. Dropped him down to a 4-5 now.
Mhm.
Rockslide's viability took a leap forward with the release of Darkhawk and Zabu. Easy to look at his nerf and assume that we're targeting Darkhawk by weakening one of his support cards.
And
Yes,
then
that's what they're doing because
yep.
they've nerfed Darkhawk so many times. Not so many, but they've nerfed Darkhawk. They can't nerf him anymore without destroying him. So
Mm.
they got to nerf his boys. Darkhawk has been one of the 10 winningest cards in the game since release and featured in multiple strong decks. Like every fucking strong deck that's out there
Oh,
is
all
a
of them
rock
have Darkhawk.
slided
Yeah, it's a nice
Darkhawk and
card. Yeah.
Core with that package. Um, in fact, Rockslide often mirrors or improves upon Darkhawk stats. Oh, come on, often, like every time,
Yep.
as they're both in the top performing Dino Hawk deck. Since Rockslide's easier to adjust, we're making this tweak with the aim of weakening that deck slightly. Yeah, they just want to nerf the Darkhawk package, basically.
Yeah.
Even like the two, I don't mind this change. I think it's good because like 4-6, like I'd rather have two shuffle two rocks than like drags plus two power.
This one,
like
I mind this change, but I'm not mad about it like I am with the Drax one because I think they give a really good explanation here.
yeah,
They just nerfed Darkhawk, like you said, from 1 to 0. So they're
yeah.
saying, look, this is easier. So I think that gets me thinking that they're thinking of an actual like rework to Darkhawk because we talked about this last week, kid, and I said, I would hate it if they nerf Spider-Man because everyone hates the Spider-Man after Galactus play. Spider-Man's not a broken card. And you know what else is not a
Yep.
broken card? Rock Slide at 4/6. It's never been a broken
No.
card. This has been a
No.
mediocre card at best. If you put it in literally any other deck other than Darkhawk, even in the Darkhawk deck, it's only good if you draw your Darkhawk. Like, if you just Rock Slide, like it's okay. They'll probably draw one of the rocks, but they still have a bunch of other cards. So, I don't like this. I think just putting Darkhawk to -1 and move on. Like they said, he's a top 10 in win rate since release. Why not put him to a -1?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why does Rock Slide get the straight? It'd be like putting Spider Man to 5 power to nerf Galactus. Like I just think it's stupid. It's kind of lazy. I don't know. Whatever. But they gave a good explanation here. They said, "Look, we're going to try this for now, just to kind of cool off the meta, basically. Like this is like a hot fix almost, eh?
Yeah. I mean, I
'Cause
don't mind it.
that
I
stature
don't
deck
mind it
has rock
because
slide
like
too, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
that I think they're just trying to weaken those kind of decks.
yeah,
So that,
it's
like
targeting that deck
even
specifically for
like
sure.
even because even when you like if you draw your Darkhawk and don't draw the rock slide,
Mm,
then Darkhawk's still good. Like you said, if you make him a -1, then he's just shit. But like I guess here in those decks, when you have that Darkhawk package, it's like if you draw the rock slide but don't draw the Darkhawk, then like you're weak. That you're weakening that archetype, which is
mhm.
good, which is what they want
It
because that
is good
archetype is too
overall for
strong.
sure. But at the end of the day, Darkhawk is the best 4 drop in the entire game.
Yeah,
So just nerf him. Like again, you guys did it wasn't enough last time. Nerf him again. It's not a big deal. He's like minimum at 8 these like when you play him. So at worst, he's like crossbones with no restriction, but you can enchantress. So that's like the worst case scenario. And then best case, like 412, he gets crazy too with some other shenanigans. But you
yeah.
get
I mean,
Mystique. Yeah.
Rockslide too. I think this is an underrated effect. Maybe not for. Maybe not. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but
Mm.
I think people think this is underrated. Like shuffling two rocks like that, disruption is huge.
It's nice for
Like
sure, but like you've never seen Rock Slide outside of a Darkhawk deck.
no, you don't.
So I,
Except
I
in
think it's
the
kind of
old.
sad. I like Rock Slide as a card. I remember when I first read it, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to pull this guy out of the collection track, because it
Yeah,
seemed like fun. I
yeah,
was in the Zabu, era, obviously. So obviously I wanted him,
yeah.
but yeah, for 2 power.
I'm like I don't. I'm like I don't mind this. I don't mind this change.
Mhm.
Um, it doesn't bother me.
At least they're
I'm
hitting
fine
the
to see
best
it.
deck, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm fine to see that archetype take a step down.
Yeah.
Even I like playing rock slide and stuff too, but like
Mhm.
I'm completely fine with it. I think it's a good change anyway
Mhm.
in general. Enchantress, here we go. 4-6 down to 4-5.
And
2 weeks ago, they buffed her from 4-4 to 4-6. Now they're like, here's what they say. Enchantress has grown in popularity since our buff to her 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
which was expected.
yeah, we
While
called
we're
that in the last
excited,
ep.
yeah, yeah,
Well, anyone
stonks.
anyone would have called that. Yeah,
Yeah, of course, of
yeah.
course. While we're excited by how much more she's affecting the meta, she's become one of the most played cards in the game, which is a bit over the mark.
Mhm.
We're optimistic that a small nerf to 4 or 5 will put her in a good position going forward. But hey, it was fun while it lasted.
It was
So
fun
yeah,
if
I
you
think
were the
this
one
is
playing her for sure.
yeah, I think this is great. I think this is a great change. She was pretty damn good at 4-6, and bringing her down to 4-5, I think is completely fine. I think she's still great. She's still going to do what she does, and I think the point of this whole change is so people don't forget about her with all the ongoing stuff.
I
And at
think
4-5,
I think
it's
she's gonna
perfect for
stay at
her.
4-5 for a long time. I think
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
perfect change. I think.
yeah. I think it's perfect for her.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is like you still want to put her in all these decks. You're still gonna put her in all the decks, but she's not gonna be in every deck now, like she
yeah.
was.
Because they said on the last one they had the data and it was still kind of weak at 5, even for people that were playing her. It was
Mhm.
still not didn't have a high win rate. So I think she needs to be at least 5 because we've already seen that at 4 for a long time and it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
clearly OP at 6. So yeah, I think 5 she's going to be great for a long time.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the most for me. I think this is the most important change that they made.
Hmm.
The reason being because it shows that second dinner actually will go back and readjust cards,
Hmm.
not just leave them to die
Yeah,
or to be great.
they,
For
they
Red
did with
Skull,
Thanos too. They did it.
yeah, Red Skull.
Oh yeah, Red Skull got touched a lot.
They're staying at 512. I'd love to see him back at 513 because like now that Sherry's not there, I think he's fine. But anyways,
Yeah.
um, yeah, they did do it with Thanos, but yeah, this too. Like I just
Mhm.
like they tried something. They're
Yeah,
like, okay, it's too much. Bring it back a little bit.
I
I
agree.
think it's like great that they're doing this.
Hmm.
Now, for me, this next one is the most exciting one, probably for most
This
people,
is wild.
honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't
This
ready for this. This is crazy.
I know. I'm so excited about this. I
Yeah.
just like I want to play. I want to play with this guy. Venom
Mhm.
was a 3-1, now a 3-3, +2 power. So we saw what +2 power did can do to a card.
Mhm.
One of the Enchantress, one of the most played cards in the game after +2 power. Now we have Venom, who's never played. I'll read what Second Dinner said. Venom has been one of the worst destroy enablers for a while now, averaging lower power in destroy decks than his peers Deathlock and Carnage. For him to be averaging lower than Carnage is stupid
Mhm.
for a 3 power. While he's seen fringe usage in decks with Taskmaster, we haven't seen any of them really take off. We'd like to give one of the Marvel's most iconic antiheroes space to shine, so we're feeding him a hearty +2 power buff.
Mm.
I think it's fantastic because really in destroy decks, I've played a lot of destroy. Like
Mhm.
you never want to pick him. It's like him, the it's like, what do I want for a 3 drop? Him or Deathlock? Deathlock, no question. You're like, why the hell would I take a 3-1?
Yeah, it's like only with
Is he?
Nimrod, right? Because at least with Nimrod, you get to keep some power in the lane, and so then you got power across 3 lanes. But other than with Nimrod, it's not really. Well, even with Deathlock, it's still fine. You still get 5 instead of 6. So yeah, even with that, like yeah, it's only on a buff Nimrod,
Yeah,
I guess, right? That it matters.
yeah.
Hmm.
And Deathlock was better to use on the other cards. Like if you have Bucky,
Yeah, yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
So yeah, I was playing a lot of Venom Nimrod earlier on. I lost a lot of cubes early on in the season. Just dicking around with
Just
that
wanted to
deck.
have some fun. Yeah, play the game for
Yeah.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was so fun. I
yeah.
loved it, but I just kept getting owned,
Hmm.
and it was just like so bad. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my god, like this needs a little bit of love here,
Hmm.
because like Nimrod's such a fun card to play, but like you can't just like I don't know, like the 3-1 Venom on him. He's just so hard to pull off. That's like
Hmm.
3-3 now. I think not just in Nimrod, but even the regular destroy shells
Yeah,
makes you really have to think like, do you want him or do you want Deathlock? And
or both now.
I, yeah, or both. But I
Mhm,
think now, like, if you have to choose,
mhm.
probably Venom.
You think
Like,
so?
this is great. Other than Bucky Barnes,
I haven't played
almost
enough to
everything else
know
he hits is
between
better
those
and
2.
gives you
Yeah.
more space on the board.
Mm,
Like Deathlock could be very awkward at times. Like if you have a location you can't play in, then you have like a 2-6 Carnage. and all you have is like a deathlock to play, and you have like 2 lanes with things in them. You're like, "Damn it, I can't play this
You
deathlock."
can't kill your Carnage. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, so we had
Mhm,
some technical difficulties, we're back.
mhm,
So yeah, just to kind of finish up on Venom, I think he's, not, I don't know if he's like auto include in destroy decks. We'll have to, play around with him and stuff, but
mhm.
definitely I think that now a lot more of the time I'll be picking him over Deathlock. Because yeah, if you have locations where, you're getting screwed, playing a Venom and eating the rest of your stuff, sure, it puts him in Shang-Chi range, but at least you're not destroying your whole board. And now maybe the Taskmaster Nimrod stuff, gets a little bit better. Deadpool decks, who knows?
Yeah, something about these changes I'm really into. I understand they want to shake up the meta, but I do like just take these random cards that nobody plays and just jack them up. Orca,
Yeah,
Venom, Collector, let's get Medusa, Punisher, Angel. Let's get these cards. Let's get them some love, jack them
yeah.
up, and rock and roll. I love it.
Even Punisher, like make him a 2-1. See what happens. Let him
You don't want to
compete in the
go
2
just
card
3-3.
spot.
I think it's just a straight 3-3, easy.
That could be a 3-3. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think it'd be decent because you could play them in ongoing decks then, instead of just easily just taking America or Fantastic every single time.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I like so like kind of talking about what we were talking about before, going back to what we were talking about before, these
Mhm.
OTA changes, I love them. I
Yeah,
love what they're doing.
for sure.
I think they nailed this one.
Mhm.
Um I like the every week. I know they're probably not going to continue to do every week, but even if they did like one card every week, that'd be great. I know like a lot of people, maybe this is a hot take. A lot of people like the little buffs, and I do too.
Mhm.
But I personally think nerfs are important as well. I know
Yeah.
people love cards and don't want to see them get worse.
Mhm.
Obviously, but nerfing is it's very important to do because then you just get power creep. And if you just then all the cards just get higher and higher, and it's just inflation of cards, and
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah,
have one sevens.
if every week was just 2 buffs, 2 nerfs, I think that's the dream.
Yeah, or even just like one buff, one nerf, because like I
Mhm.
don't think they're gonna go every week, but like or
Yeah, or
they'll
every
probably go
every
every
other
2
week
weeks.
maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. And
Mhm.
then this one, awesome. This little bonus, amazing, amazing.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just they just shit on all the worst locations that everyone hates.
This one,
That's
you know what stood out to me here? I mean, this is like the best change. This and Venom are just like ridiculous. Like I love it. Like
yeah.
they're giving us what we want.
Oh,
But
this is the best
did you
change.
have a problem with the Morag?
No,
That's the one that's like, okay, that one's not bad. The other six are obnoxious as shit. But Morag's
unless
kind
you're
of like
playing,
it's not bad. Like that's
yeah,
like a reasonable location.
unless you're playing ramp.
Yeah, but even if you're playing Doctor Doom, you're playing
Yeah,
maybe like you had Zola in your list, like
yeah, yeah.
you still get cards over there if you wanted to.
I think the problem with Morag,
Mm.
the more I think about this, is that when you get Morag with another one of the oppressive locations,
Mm,
it pops up
yeah,
with something else, then like you can't play in it. If it's like just Morag with two
true.
other good locations, it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah, you
But if
got
you get one of the
Morag, then you got Jotunheim, minusing all your cards every turn, and then
yeah, then you got
you got like Sanctum on the other one, and you're like, well,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So like I think to avoid that because there's so many like bad locations, that's
true.
probably why. But yeah, no, for sure that one is the one that I just like I don't when I see Morag up there, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does, but yeah, the other six are horrible. Yeah.
Adelan,
Mhm,
I know Adelan is like some people like hate the most.
mhm.
I'm not. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I hate Adelan, but I don't like hate it the most.
I don't hate it really that much at all, to be honest. I mean, you kind of play around it. Like you could build your deck around it. I know it's
Yeah,
Cozy's
completely.
Cozy Snap's least favorite location in the entire game.
Yeah,
But I don't find it that bad. It's just Crystal.
yeah. I just the only time I hate Adelan is like when I don't have any draws on turn 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah,
and I have like 5 or 6 cards in my hand, and I'm like, then it shuffles them all, and I only get 3 back. I'm like, no, it's
yeah,
such a good like
yeah.
end game, and now I got screwed.
Four,
But
five,
like
six
I
was
don't.
about to be lit, and now it's
But yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. But don't get me wrong. Yeah, then I get my early game, and
Yeah,
then I have no cards.
play it all in one
But
turn.
don't get me wrong. I do hate this location.
Mhm.
Krakoa, I This is the one I hate the most on the whole list.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, I hate personally. I hate Subterranea worse than that one.
Yeah, that one's bad too.
I've always hated Subterranea. It just feels bad, man. Krakoa, at least I play the 5 other turns. You know, I get to play the game for 5 out of the 6 turns. Subterranea, I feel like the whatever I built my deck around. Like I play a lot of combo kind of bullshit combo decks that you need all 6 draws like really badly. So when
Yeah.
I get 5 rocks and the kind of decks I like to play it's miserable.
I feel like every time there's Subterranea, I'm drawing at least 3 rocks.
Oh, at least, yeah,
I
at least, yeah,
I I've drawn all 5 before.
yeah,
Like,
same,
gotten
same.
drops and, like, I'm and I was like, "Okay." And I play 'em out on turn 6 and then they, like, laugh and I leave.
Well, sometimes they just show up with Korg on turn 1 too, and then it's just like, here we go."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, Subterranea, and then, yeah, another, like, the Lechugia, which is, like, play whenever you play a card, shuffle 3 rocks, and Subterranea, both Darkhawk, nerfs as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Are
I think
these less
that's gotta
good?
be intentional for sure.
But Krakoa, I don't this is a newer location too. I hate this location. I hate it because I play the game and I feel like I'm doing good
Mhm,
and like, I'm ahead going into turn 5 and I have these nice plays lined up and then just
mhm,
plays a goddamn Mystique,
mhm.
on just by itself and I have
Yeah.
like a nice 5 drop like a Spider Woman or something, that can be played. Just a 5 drop or like Modoc. Just play the Modoc. It's 5.
Yeah,
Play
maybe if
anywhere. Play
they,
it in
fix, Agatha AI one day. Like, if Agatha gets an AI buff, then the Krakoa won't be as bad.
like because like I'm playing and I'm like I feel like I'm doing okay, and that just ruins the game for me. So then I feel like I've wasted my time. Like ego, I don't mind. I actually love ego because
Mhm.
it's so infrequent and like you just snap and you let it go, and those are the rules.
It's a meme, yeah, it's just a meme location.
Yeah, and you're like, who cares? Whatever, you go
Mhm,
for it. And it's like
mhm,
it's a meme, and everyone's fun. Yeah, everyone's laughing, and you're like, all right,
mhm.
you're gonna win or lose 8 cubes, either
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Krakoa's like you're trying, you're trying to be smart, and then like it loses you the game.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it sucks. It's a
Um,
horrible location. I hate Krakoa as well.
yeah. Lechugia, good. I don't want to see that.
Mhm,
Morag, we talked about. Plunder Castle, yeah, another one. Stupid. Oh God. Oh, you can only play if you're playing like a Sarah deck. No 6 drops. You're
mhm.
screwed.
Yeah, a lot of decks, don't have 6.
Yeah, it's a dumb
Or even
location.
they
I
do,
don't
like,
like
what do
it.
you do? Play Chavez and then just lose to a better 6? Like, you know?
Yeah. Sanctum Sanctorum again. Cards can't be played here. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, these are like I think like you said, this is like the best the best change that
It's awesome.
we're
Yeah.
gonna see. It's unfortunate they said it's unlikely you'll consciously be able to observe these changes.
You know what's
Um,
funny? Like, I queued a couple games after they did these changes, and the second game had Subterranean. I was like, "Well, you know."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good. Like they're still gonna be there, right? It's
Yeah.
less frequency.
Yeah.
At least I'll feel good in my head whenever
Mhm.
they come up. Be like, okay, they reduced it. They reduced
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
All is well.
Yeah,
So then,
awesome change.
then they say, yeah. Then they say that's all for now.
Mhm.
The second to last of our OTA trial period. So next week, full patch. And just FYI, I was watching some videos, and apparently the devs in their Discord said that people are asking about wave changes, and they said that wave, I think like a week ago or something, that wave is going to be nerfed or changed. And since we're not seeing wave here, I'm going to take that to think that maybe it's just going to be reworked, and we'll see
Mhm.
next week.
Yeah,
Um,
do you think they're just gonna straight up, take away Hulk and Death and just leave everything else the same?
how do they do that through text? Like all cards, period, are for.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you maybe just throw no matter what at the end of it. Like, kinda
Yeah,
like they do with Jeff, where it's like, he could do whatever the fuck he wants no matter what, you know? You could do that with,
yeah,
Wave.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or
Yeah,
just
we'll see.
bracket, like, they did a bracket with Lockjaw that said, once per turn. They could do bracket, unaffected by cost reduction, Bracket.
Yeah. Well, and then you can't Sarah wave and play 2 cards on the
Right. Yeah,
turn
if they wanna
6.
do it, like, with that wording, what I don't know what they wanna
Yeah,
I'm just, throwing some things. I don't know
yeah.
what they should do.
Well,
I don't
well,
mind
if they
Wave that
change,
much,
like,
to be honest.
me either.
Mhm.
If they don't, like, since they haven't changed her in like these OTAs, like, it makes me think that it'll probably be. And they said they're gonna change her
Yeah.
apparently, then so it makes me think that it's gonna be like a rework.
Yeah,
Who
like
knows? I
even
don't know.
I don't know, with Shuri, I would have been just happy with the OTA change to just reduce her power level. And I never played Shuri. I didn't even have the card unlocked when she was taking
That
over the meta. But I would have been
that
happy
wouldn't
with just
affect.
like a put her to a 4-0 and let's see what happens. And I kind of
No,
feel the
that
same
wouldn't
way about
affect.
Wave, where just put Wave to a 3-2, and it's rough playing a 3-2, man. That's like not that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Yeah.
The Shuri wouldn't have changed anything. You don't even care about the Shuri's 2 power. When you're having a
Mm.
15 red skull and you're getting 30 and then you're copying 30,
Yeah.
that 2 power doesn't mean crap.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I thought they would try it instead of wait 2 months, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So they said, so while we're not yet set on a plan going forward, we know that we want to continue doing regular OTA balance updates, just at longer intervals. So probably every 2 weeks, maybe
Yeah.
between changes. We'll let you know when we have more to share. Which I wish they would do change less, but do them every week. I love the every week stuff because it just gets me excited every week.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
There's
even if
always
they just
something.
change one card, like even if it's just one card, I
There's
wouldn't
always
even
a new
care. Just
card coming out, so every week, like,
that's
at
true.
least
That's
something's
true.
happening, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of new cards coming out, let's talk about the boy, the
Aye, the
lad,
lad, aye, lad.
the
A fine
laddie.
lad.
Yes. Oh, I don't have him. You scooped him up. You scooped him up.
The more I
What do
thought
you
about it, especially after we talked last week about it, I'm like, this is the exact kind of card that I love playing. I love
yeah.
Jubilee. I love Lockjaw. I love let's like hella deck. Let's play some RNG, but kind of like rig it in our favor and just do some wild shit. And I think
Yeah.
Iron Lad embodies all that, but also he's a 4/6 body. Unlike Jubilee, who's a 1 and Lockjaw's a 2, and Hell is like
Yeah.
super unreliable, right? So, yeah, this guy is sick, and I do not regret buying him at all. I think he's extremely powerful. Um,
Yes.
I think he's one of the best cards in the game. I know a lot of people are saying, maybe he's overrated. I saw KM Best saying he's probably overrated, probably 4 out of 5 star. I don't know, man. I'm hesitant to say like stature's the best card in the game. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that feel
Yeah, I don't
wrong?
think
Like a
so.
1/7? I don't know.
I
Like,
don't I don't think stature is.
yeah, right. So like, if not stature, then who's the best card? I don't know. I think Iron Lad is maybe he's not the best card in the game. Like that might be total overreaction, but he feels nuts to me, and really really fun to play as well. Like the fun factor is like awesome with this card,
Yeah.
and he
Well, I
gets all
mean,
the
like,
animations, and he's sick.
yeah, look, like, so you can play Iron Lad, a 4/6, copy the text of any card, or you
Mhm.
can play Drax, a 4/6, plus 2 power, if they played a card in that location.
Yeah,
Which shows
exactly.
us shit Drax is.
Much better just to copy your Rocket Raccoon, in the GG deck, and there you go, the same card,
Yeah. So let's
which
talk about,
which
yeah,
comes up, by the way.
we have your decks. I think personally, I don't
Mhm,
have Iron Lad. I'll probably wait for him to go to 3K to pick him up
mhm.
unless someone comes out with some really compelling deck. Um,
I think
I'm thinking
super
about,
super fair to wait till 3K. By the way, I don't think you
yeah.
need to pick them up. I'm
I,
just
I'm I'm
but I'm
waiting
very
for
happy I did.
Yeah, I'm waiting for High Evo. Kitty Pride will come out next week that we all get.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll probably wait for 3K.
Mhm.
And then, I think I want to finish the Big Bad collection
Mhm.
for spending 6Ks. I have Kang. I have Kang pinned in my shop.
Mhm.
I'll pull the trigger eventually once I find a deck that I want to play him in.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the lad.
Oh baby.
There it is. But yeah, so you know, yeah, but High Evo, he's gonna be a big bad. I think even if High Evo wasn't a big bad, I would have bought him. He would have been a lot of fun.
Oh
But
yeah,
anyways,
I
Iron
didn't
Lad,
I didn't think he was gonna be. I thought Tribunal was clearly the big bad. I heard he was the second most powerful being in the universe. They were saying, again, I don't know the lore, but I
yeah,
think like he's like the second most powerful in the whole universe. So I thought, okay,
yeah,
that's the big bad then, right? Is the Living Tribunal.
yeah.
But I
I
still
think
would have
they're
bought High Evolutionary, even if he wasn't, for sure, because it's
yeah,
insane. Same with Kitty Pride, right? If Kitty Pride's 6K, but she's not a big bad, I'm still paying the 6K. That card is nuts.
yeah. I think yeah, I think their 6K, their big bad is like not necessarily the big bad, but the
Mhm.
cards that are most unique and have maybe most fun or most like unique stuff to the game.
Yeah.
Those are the big bads, right? Like Thanos, you get the stones. Galactus, you destroy everything. Kang, you get free snaps.
Yeah.
Reverse the turn.
How could you snap?
Hi, yeah, how can you snap me? But yeah. So Iron Lad, I think personally, I think now that Enchantress is nerfed, Patriot is going to be ridiculous with Iron Lad
Mhm.
because there's not one bad card in there that Iron Lad can hit except for Mystique. Not one bad one.
Well,
If
even
he copies,
Mystique is okay too if you play it like so you could play Patriot on 3, right?
yeah,
Then Mystique's great,
yeah,
you know, so
well,
and you kinda know that, like, you know, if you're savant with your deck, you know what
yeah,
cards are in there, or if you're using a
yeah,
tracker or something,
yeah,
you're gonna know, like, I could hit Mystique here, you know? Kinda like with Hela, like, oh, I could hit like, Blade could come, like, I play Jubilee, and she might pull Blade, you have to know that, you know? Like, so
yeah,
it's the same thing with, Mystique, so sometimes you wanna buffer it with an ongoing card first.
yeah.
So
But I'm
you could
saying
do
like
a
that's
Marvel into Iron Lad turn 6, who knows?
yeah. Well, I'm saying like that. That's the only bad one. If you
Yeah,
put Iron Lad in any other deck, there's going to be more than one bad card.
yeah, for sure.
Period. I think
Mhm,
in the Patriot deck, I mean, obviously I don't know everything. I'm exaggerating, but I think in
mhm,
the Patriot deck, that's the only card that's could be bad.
mhm.
If it copies a no text like a Misty Knight, then it's a thing, and that's the thing, and it
Yeah.
gets buffed by Patriot and everything,
Yeah, it's literally the
which
thing,
is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if that's like your worst thing, we're like, oh no, I just played the thing in a Patriot deck, which
Yeah.
has been played in Patriot
Yeah,
decks.
it's a very standard play in Patriot, yeah.
Yeah, with the upside of, oh, I can hit like if you play Iron Man in the Patriot decks. Oh, if you play Leech in the Iron Man decks.
Mhm.
If you play, you can hit a Patriot. You can hit Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
You can hit Onslaught if you play Onslaught in them.
Yeah,
Like
Doctor Doom,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's insanity.
Mhm. Yeah, the card seems nuts, man. I don't know. I'm loving it, but I think they should tune the power back. Honestly, it should be at 4-5 or 4-4. Like I don't know, it's just clearly like 6 is too much for this card. I think, but not gonna nerf the card right as it comes out, obviously.
No,
But
yeah, let's give it.
yeah,
let's give it like a month and see what
yeah,
happens. If
yeah,
it's
yeah. I don't think they
it's
need to
like in a
hot fix
month.
it yet, but
Yeah,
I'm
if
predicting for the future.
yeah, if in a month it's like not that oppressive, then then they might not change it. It might be fine. Who knows?
All
But
right, so let me give you my
yeah.
experience playing the lad over the last week. So
Okay, where's your Dark Lad is the first one we
we'll
got
start with this one.
pulled up
So
here.
let me just preface by saying I tried about 9 or 10 different lad decks. I first started with Lockjaw. I played, then I tried playing Move because I figured all the move cards are pretty good. Like, if I get a second cloak, like that's nuts and Move, right? Like if
Yeah,
if he gets Heimdall and then I still have Heimdall. So I copy Heimdall, I play cloak, move everything, I play another Heimdall. I don't know, there's some crazy stuff going on, right? So
yeah.
I tried that, and then I did play a lot of the Patriot deck. But what happened was I lost two back-to-back 8 cube games to turn 6 Enchantress, and I was like, all right, I don't want to. I just it felt strong, but like I just lost 16 cubes, so like I gotta I want. There's so many other cards I want to try to copy, right? So
Yeah,
I came up with 3 decks that, and I will we'll get to it on Snap Stonks. I do want to bring up the Patriot thing again on Snap Stonks. Spoiler alert. But for these 3 decks, all 3 had really good cube, really good win rate. And so the first one is just my own build, but it's probably the build everybody's trying. It's the most obvious synergies with the card. Darkhawk. You could play some Dino version of this. You want to play Dino and Coulson, maybe Moon Girl, whatever you want. Quinjet's not a bad thing to copy. Neither is Korg. So you could play with Dino. I wanted to try it without Dino because that just seemed a little bit more boring. So almost every card in here is really nice to copy. The worst one's probably like Nebula, but then Chavez pushes everything to the top, and it's a Zabu Sarah deck. Turn 6 you could play 3 4 drops. Your Jubilee could play another card, and it just gets crazy, man. It just outputs an insane amount of power, and it has a lot of reach too with Fantastic and Doom. But of course, this is before all the OTA changes that nerfed Rock Slide and the Rock location. So who knows? Maybe. But I think I will say the Ench nerf to 4-5 is a buff to this deck. So There's just gonna be less enchantresses running around. So I think this
This
deck gets a little bit of a buff that way. And I will say copying Sarah is ridiculous with Iron Lad. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, because then this deck, yeah, this deck actually looks. The more I look at it, the more like, holy crap, this is insane. Like Iron Lad, you're not mad about him hitting anything on this.
No, that's what
Like,
it's for. This deck is built around the Iron Lad. It's not Iron Lad in a deck that's already good, which a lot of people are doing, and I totally respect that. But I want to like try to crack the card open,
well,
that I have to
if
pay
you
6K tokens for.
if you Zabu Iron Lad on 3 and he
Yeah.
pulls Sarah, then
Yes.
you play Sarah on 4.
Yes.
It's
You're
-2.
starting to see exactly. That's come up multiple times too. Like I've actually had that line like 3 times with this deck. Yeah, this
When do
deck.
you snap?
I'm
Do you
and I'll have
snap
to.
if you have Zabu Iron Lad in your hand? Are you snapping?
Yes, yes, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this deck, like
Oh,
with these three
so
decks,
let
I'm
me
probably
wait.
about plus 50, plus 60 cubes in the last week.
Let me just for not everyone on video here.
Mm,
Uh, let's just talk about the. I'll go over the deck. So the deck is Nebula, Korg, Zabu, Mister Fantastic, Darkhawk, Jubilee, Iron Lad, Rockslide, Iron Man, Sarah, Doctor Doom, and America Chavez.
mm. Yeah, and I tried a
Wild.
bunch of cards in here, like Shang-Chi was in here, bunch of different 3 drops, instead of Fantastic. Mystique was there instead of Fantastic, kinda like what you were saying, but I just wanna, just play Iron Lad in the middle. If I don't draw my Fantastic, I gotta, it's like a 4-10, right? 4-6 with the poof, 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 So
Yeah.
it's kinda nice too, it feels good. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this deck's sick for sure.
Oh, if I had Iron Lad, actually, I'd play this deck. It looks really
Is
fun.
is really strong too, like just crazy power, crazy combos. Yeah, that you could counter it, like Shang and Ench can counter it, but you're usually playing in all 3 lanes, so they
Yeah.
might tech card against 1 lane, but you can still win the other two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it looks great. All right, let's do next one. GG.
So this deck is stolen from Dara. He went to Infinite with a deck like this on the first
Yeah.
2 days of the season, like like Dare does. He's the biggest whale. He has all the cards. He obviously has Jeff the Shark in his version. I think Jeff
Yeah.
would be like optimal in this for sure. I just don't have the card. I'm not gonna buy it. Gotta pay for High Evo and Iron Lad, So
Yeah.
um, this deck's pretty sick. So this one uses the Guardians. I didn't think it would be good. I've never really grinded control deck before, but this one's really strong, really high cube rate. So what you don't kind of realize is Iron Lad copying the control cards is like extremely powerful. Like if you get a 4-6 Professor X, like Jesus, like
Yeah.
even a 4-6 Spider Man is awesome. So like normally you want to play Spider Man on 5, but you could play Iron Lad and then you play Spider Man the next turn because you're drawing Spider Man, right? So it gets kind of wild, and you're opening up the game with Nebula, Storm. So you're already, and I will say too, the Galactus matchup on this thing is phenomenal. And I think that was probably what Dara was thinking when he first made the deck, because it was at the start of the season where it was a bunch of Galactuses running around, and it was
Yeah.
before Iron Lad came out. But he talks about at the end of the video, hey, I would put Iron Lad in here, and then he kind of jams them in. So it's a slightly tweaked version of his list. But yeah, I mean, you're basically playing Nebula, Guardians, and you have 3.5 location lockdowns. You got Storm, you got Professor X, Spider Man, and then Iron Lad might copy one of them. So 3.5, and
Yeah.
and then
Great.
and Daredevil kind of scouts out where they're playing too. So and
Yeah.
also turn 6, Gamora Rocket Raccoon's pretty cool play on turn 6. It's like just
Yeah.
16 power in a
Yeah. That's
control deck is like kind of unheard of, right? Like it's an orca.
yeah.
It's a buffed orca in a lane, and you don't even doesn't even need to be the only card there.
Oh, I love it. That's
Yeah,
great. Yeah, just
yeah.
a nice control deck. Yeah. Yeah. No Jeff. Like I said, I know we talked about this a little bit before, but like, dude, I want the more I see, the more I'm playing, the more I want Jeff. And I'm not spending 6K on him, but like, he
Mhm.
just seems like he's in the every deck. Everyone's putting him in every
I'd play
deck.
him over Raccoon here. I think Raccoon's like probably the most underperforming card here. Still pretty good though. Like I like it better than Titania because I don't want to copy Titania. You know, so
Yeah. Well,
um,
especially these control decks, he shines because you just put him in a storm lane. You can put him in Prof X.
yeah,
You can get
yeah.
that extra power. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, and also
But
Iron Lad copying Jeff, real nice.
Yeah. Oh
Now you
yeah.
can move your
Jeez.
six. You're just vision. You're -1 vision.
But your vision that can be put in a Professor X lane.
Yeah, and X if you need it. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. So
um.
definitely Jeff over Raccoon, I would say. But other
Yeah.
than that, like awesome, really, really strong deck. And it feels strong. Like you're winning most of your games. That's what it felt like.
Two things. When
Mhm,
Jeff becomes 3K, I'm instantly buying him.
mhm.
Number two, I'm making an astute observation that there's one Guardian missing here. Do you
Oh
think
no,
that
no, no, no.
do you think that he may get I didn't say the list. Let me go over the list again. GG, Nebula, Rocket Raccoon, Daredevil, Star-Lord, Storm, Spider-Man, Enchantress, Iron Lad, Professor X, Gamora, Doctor Doom, and America Chavez. I see one poor old Drax is missing. How
I
about after his recent buff? Is he making the cut here?
Well, I will say I did my rant on Drax already. That's why he's not in there. I will say I tried Rescue instead of Enchantress.
Yeah,
Um, and because Rescue is really good with Prof X, and if Iron Lad copies Rescue, that's a +5. So now you're 411, which is really nice. So
yeah.
I think Enchantress Rescue are better. Drax, I mean, it's just a 4/8. What are we doing?
I know.
Save Drax.
I know. Save the Drax
Free Drax.
Foundation.
Free Drax.
All right, you got a third one here. Let's go into that. All right, so I'll actually say the cards first.
Mhm,
Iron Long going.
mhm.
We have Ant Man, Hazmat, Luke Cage. Nice variant. Look at him. Jers off.
I like that one. Yeah.
Zabu, Lizard, Mr. Fantastic, Wong, Omega Red, The Lad, Namor, Professor X, Spectrum.
So it's another
Looks good.
Zabu deck. I will say this is Binks. This is Binks' idea, but you
Nice.
know how Binks is with his decks. He puts crazy bad cards in, and he wants to make it work. He wants to put Maria Hill in every deck, and this is no exception. On his list, he has Punisher over Fantastic, which I think is nuts. So
Yeah.
that's a better card. So he's going in there, and he has
He had a sick variant on his Punisher though.
yeah. Oh, it looks amazing. Yeah, that's
I
the
know. I think
yeah.
that's why. That's why.
Yeah. But, gets
I
buffed
respect
by
that.
Spectrum, I get it. But yeah, even I would play Captain America over both over and Fantastic. But
Of
Fantastic's
course.
really good here. Lizard has a synergy with Luke Cage, which is really nice
Mhm.
because that -4 downside is not too bad in this deck. It doesn't feel bad. You just got Luke Cage, and then Omega Red is definitely the wild card. Binks was running Typhoid Mary instead of Omega Red, which is kind of standard in the Hazmat decks, but I just don't
Yeah.
like the card, and I think it's a bad copy for Iron Lad. -1 to all your cards. Thanks, Iron Lad. And now if I don't draw Luke Cage, and this is not a Chavez deck, there's no Adam in here. It's not a consistent. You don't always get the Hazmat. But
Yeah.
the nice thing with this deck is it's 10 ongoing cards, Hazmat, and Lad. So your Lad is either copying an ongoing card or Hazmat, which is great either way. So you're really happy, and then you could always buff it with Spectrum.
Yeah.
So this deck was actually my best performer so far. Right before we started this pod, I had an 8 cube win and a 4 cube win back to back, and even before that, it was crushing. So this one, surprisingly, I've never had any success with a Destroyer Spectrum. These ongoing kind of like Claw into Onslaught or Claw Iron or Iron Man Onslaught. I've never had any real success with these decks. This one is
Yeah.
by far the strongest one I've ever played. It feels really strong, but maybe it's a limited sample size. I've only played this one for maybe like an hour, so more testing to come. It'll be the
What
deck
would
I'll
you
be
put?
playing in the next couple days for sure.
What would you put instead of Iron Lad? I'm asking for a friend.
I don't know, man. I don't think you. It has to be an ongoing four because you got Zabu and you got Spectrum.
All right,
So
Typhoid Mary. Good.
yeah, just Typhoid, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She is a 410, and then 412
Yeah.
and 414 with Wong going Spectrum. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. No. These decks are fun. I like. What's been like your win conditions getting you the cubes? The Omega Red, the Spectrum.
Just Spectrum. But I will say the Omega Red is, yeah, like I said, I don't know yet, but I like him with Professor X. It's a really cool,
Yeah.
like, slam a Professor X on your Omega Red lane, and they don't know. Are they going to spectrum? Like what, a fantastic
Yeah,
can get into that lane too. Another reason to play him over Punisher. So, he could add two, and
well,
then it puts them in a little bit of a pickle. And
yeah,
also Hazmat's really good with Omega Red too, because if they have a bunch of little cards, like say it's a Thanos deck, they got a bunch of stones. You could put Omega
yeah.
Red, like Lad, Omega Red and Lad on one deck, and then you get your Hazmat off. You lower the stones, and then and yeah,
Yeah.
so Omega Red goes off more than you would think. But I would
Yeah.
say Namor is a rock star in here. Namor's ridiculous in here. Like is he gets to 13, 15 very easily, and yeah, really fun deck.
That's great. Would you put Jeff in this deck? Maybe instead of Lizard?
No, no. But maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. But
I'm just
lizard
kidding.
feels really good. The five
Yeah,
power
yeah.
is kind of always 5 power, and then sometimes it's 7 or 9 power.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is yeah, because he doesn't get buffed by Spectrum, Jeff.
Mhm.
But yeah, this looks like a really cool deck. That's great. So
Yeah,
the lad having
shout
fun.
out to Binks for coming up with that idea.
Have you had any really wild lad stuff that has happened? A lot of
Well,
people have had like
to me the Sarah stuff. I mean, I've sent you a couple screenshots. I can't think of any
yeah.
wild ones on top of my head, but like Onslaught, Iron Man, Sarah into Sarah has happened multiple times, and when you get Sarah into Sarah in that Darkhawk deck, like then you're just dropping all your cards, and your cards are like, you know, Darkhawk, Rock Slide, like it just everything. You just dump the whole, Iron Man, Darkhawk, Rock Slide on the last turn, and you already got a bunch of cards out there. So
You're just running out of cards.
yeah, it gets ridiculous, man. So, but I will say, the wild stuff was just me trying to understand the shuffle mechanics. If someone plays
Yeah.
Korg, your hand shuffles and you might copy Chavez. If you hit Subterranea, your deck shuffles, you
Yeah.
might copy Chavez. If you play
Yeah.
Thor, he shuffles your deck, you might now copy Chavez. So you have to kind of be careful. That's kind of the wild stuff I would watch out for. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the interaction that yeah, I don't know if everyone knows about that. It's like anytime something gets shuffled into your deck, your whole deck shuffles.
yeah,
So now Chavez, if you have Chavez, she's not on the bottom of your deck
yeah.
anymore. She could be on the top
It
and you
makes
can
sense
pull her.
after you read the card, but I didn't read the card fully. But Chavez said starts at the bottom, so that
Yeah.
doesn't mean she permanently stays there, right?
Like Drake. Um
Now she's here. Nice.
yeah. So Iron Lad, and so if you play Iron Lad on a location like Lecugia or whatever,
Mhm,
Lechugia, um, he gets off his effect, then the rock shuffle, then the next card you draw is not going to be the one that he stole the effect from because your whole deck gets shuffled.
mhm.
So that's something to just
Yeah,
keep it in the back of your
the
mind
shuffling
a little
cucks you
bit.
for sure. Yeah, but anyway, that's
Yeah,
my Iron Lad experience for the week. It's been fun. I definitely recommend trying any of those three decks. They're all awesome because, like I said, I played like 10, and those are the three that are winning consistently. So the other seven, I had some
yeah.
rough L's.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're ironing it out. You're having fun with the lad.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. Yeah.
Um, And so, yeah, so what do you think about him versus High Evo? If people were to have, I guess, it's kind of an unfair question because you don't have High Evo,
Mhm.
but like you don't, you already said it, but you don't regret buying him for 6K Iron
I
Lad.
I think he's an awesome purchase. Obviously,
Yeah,
you gotta buy the Evo instead because he's a big bad, if you're picking one.
yeah,
I decided to give up my potential move cards in June. There's 2 really cool move cards coming out in June, and I might not be able to afford them because I have spent 6 on Iron Lad. So that's
yeah,
kinda where I made my concession, but I'm still getting Evo, and,
yeah,
yeah, like, I think you gotta get Evo just because he's a big bad. They already announced it, so he's gonna stay there
yeah,
forever. Like, I haven't played too much Thanos since I bought him, but I still feel great that I have him because anytime I could just go to a Thanos deck and, that's he's 6K.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think personally that I think high evo if you gotta spend 6K on something. Again, I don't have Iron Lad, so I don't have anything. I don't have high evo either, but it just seems like it opens up more possibilities. If you like playing more decks, that's the one to probably get. And obviously, because he's a big bad, stonks,
I think Lad
he's
could
gonna be
be
better.
interesting in the high Evo deck too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be interesting in every. new thing that comes out.
True. Yeah.
Every card's gonna be like, oh, we can just lad him. What
Yeah.
if this card gets ladded? You know,
Yeah.
every card for like the
How
next two
about two
months.
of
That's
them?
what people. Yeah. Nice. So let's slide into the old stonks.
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 Snap stonks.
Stonks.
All right. Well,
Snap
I brought a
stonks.
couple. Tell me
What you
what you
got?
think.
Yeah,
Um,
what you got? You got a couple, I got a couple.
so
Let's go with stonks. Which cards are stonks this week?
stonks.
So
The
for those who don't know, for those who are new to the podcast,
mhm.
the two other people that listen to the podcast,
Shout
other
out
than
Ninja.
Ninja,
Shout out Ninja.
oh boy, podcast now on multiple platforms.
Mhm.
Um, well, this segment we talk about cards that we think are we're gonna see more play in the next week, and which are gonna see less play in the next week. Kind of based on the changes in the meta. So stonks are gonna see more play. Not stonks are gonna they're gonna kind of fall off. We think anyway,
Mhm.
in our casual, stupid opinion, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which cards are stonks? No big deal.
Well, one I thought of before the OTA changes this week. Rather than just picking the ones that got buffed and picking those, I said last week, Storm, and I am seeing a ton of Storm. I don't know if you are. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, she's everywhere, right? Even in any surfer, like any Nebula. Nebula is like the second most popular deck next to the Stature deck. All of them have Storm. So I think Doctor Doom, even though he's already good, he's already high. But I think you keep
Yeah.
buying Doctor Doom. I think he's gonna stay good and even better to play against your opponent's Storm. They might have their Doom, but if they already have the lane one, they probably won't play it. So then you just play Doom and you take the Storm lane over. And also with Iron Lad's just a really good copy on Doom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that. Doom's great. And Storm, yeah, she's not she's been taking this game by storm the past week.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
pun intended.
Mhm,
Haha. Ba-dum-psh. But yeah, no, she's in like you can put her in like almost every deck. There's a
mhm,
lot of control going around I've been seeing. So
mhm.
she's in all those obviously. And discard. She works phenomenally in
Yeah,
discard.
yeah, because they
'Cause
play
you throw
Nebula and
more
discard too. Yeah.
Nebula,
Mhm,
Morbius, or
mhm,
Dracula. All
mhm.
three. You throw in the storm lane. You draw one of them, you throw them in the storm lane. They're
True.
screwed.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's insane. And if they, if you put one of them in the storm lane, you could put the other two in the other lanes. If you
Yeah.
draw like that, then you play Modoc, and there's nothing they can do.
That discard deck's sick, man. That's a powerful deck.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I got a lot of cubes at that this
Mhm.
season.
Yeah.
Just playing it, it's like it's wild.
Mhm.
Um, so my stonks for this week,
Mhm.
uh, Cosmo.
Oh no.
I think we're gonna see.
Woo!
I think we're gonna see a little bit more Cosmo.
Mhm.
I was thinking that I was kind of saying that when Iron Lad was coming out because I think that with him being an on reveal, people are gonna want to play a lot of on reveal stuff as well.
Mhm.
Just well, most cards are on reveal anyway, but like
Yeah.
with him being on reveal, I think people are gonna want to tuck that in so that they can shut him down. Now that they've nerfed Enchantress too today, I think it's even more the case that we're going to probably see more Cosmo as another
Mhm.
tech option. He might
Yeah.
be coming back.
Mhm.
Maybe not. I could be wrong, but
Mhm.
that's just my feeling
I like
that we'll
Cosmo.
see.
That's
He'll be
always a sick card. It always felt
yeah,
so powerful. So yeah, any on
yeah.
reveal meta, yeah, let's go Cosmo.
I think Cosmo is a short term buy
Mhm.
for stonks. And I
Mhm.
think long term stonk buy Luke Cage
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when High Evo comes out, there's going to be hazmats everywhere. There's going to be scorpions. There's going to be all the High Evo cards.
Mhm.
Luke Cage is gonna be in like every deck because everyone's gonna be playing Evo. They're just gonna deck Luke
I
Cage
wonder
in.
how reliable running Enchantress is gonna be in your high evolutionary deck, because obviously we're gonna be on the side of actually playing the deck. But they could just turn 6 Luke, and there's probably nothing you could do about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
You
who
just pray
knows.
they
Yeah,
don't play
it's
it on
gonna be.
turn 6 and they just enchant them,
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if I don't know if this works, but like how like Abomination, if for each card that got like negatively debuffed,
Mhm.
he like gets what he costs one cheaper.
Yeah.
If you Luke Cage, does that make him more expensive, or is like they've
I would
already?
assume so, yeah. I think it will go back up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's like since they've already gone down, then maybe they've already been debuffed, so he already gets the discount.
Yeah, I guess if we knew
because
the exact wording, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's for each card
because
on the board. Yeah, I don't know.
dude, if he goes up, like
Mhm.
then Luke Cage is OP. Then
Yeah.
Luke Cage is OP if he goes back up.
Mhm.
Because then you're just ruining that deck with one card.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think a lot of decks
So
get ruined by one card though, right? So they might not care.
yeah,
Yeah.
long long term buy Luke Cage, two
Yeah.
weeks time.
Yeah, for sure.
Put him
Yeah,
in every
we'll
deck.
talk about him in a couple weeks again for sure. So my
Yeah.
other one
What about
I had was Patriot. Couple weeks
for
ago,
Stonks?
when Enchantress went to 6, I said not Stonks was
Yeah,
Patriot because the top two
yeah,
decks in the game were like Sarah Control and Patriot. And the problem with the
yeah,
Patriot deck, like I said on the podcast Ep 1, is you can't play your Patriot on the last turn because the last turn you want to play Doctor Doom, Ultron, Iron Man, a bomb, whatever card you
yeah,
want to play on turn 6, Onslaught maybe. So you have to play your Patriot early. So he gets wrecked by Enchantress. All the decks are playing Enchantress. Patriots now a dead deck. I think now Enchantress got nerfed to 5, and she'll just be where she fits more naturally. There'll still be more than when she was 4, but I
yeah,
think Patriot, and especially as you mentioned with Iron Lad, really, really, really strong with Iron Lad. So I mean, he belongs in that deck. I think he's a core in that deck. So yeah, I think Patriot. Well, at least the non Ultron version, anyway.
yeah. Yeah, no, I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. I think we might see some Patriot.
Mhm.
Actually, I was playing Patriot the last week like a madman.
Yeah, I saw your video.
I
Yeah,
I
yeah, mhm.
actually did pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually did pretty good.
It's strong, man. It's a strong deck.
I thought I was gonna get wrecked. I just wanted to play it on I'm like, oh well, if I get wrecked, I get wrecked. It's not
Mhm.
a big deal.
Mhm.
Um, but I didn't really get Enchantress too much. I
Mhm.
didn't get wrecked. I was doing the wrecking. Like,
Mhm.
I'm positive, probably 20 or 30 cubes.
Oh, that's sick.
Um,
Yeah.
on Patriot.
Mhm.
I think I got like a 60 something percent win rate with them
Mhm.
on Untapped, and that's just on my computer, not even on my phone.
Mhm.
I don't play that much Patriot, but I was just like, why not? Just try it out. But it wasn't doing too bad.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
So
strong, man.
yeah,
It's
I
always been
agree.
strong. Yeah.
And yeah, now that Enchantress is nerfed, like I'll probably play him more. I'll probably play a little bit more
Mhm. So
just
what
to
do
get
you
some
think
diversity
for
in my decks.
not stonks?
Not not stonks. So
Mhm.
I got one on my not stonks list because I think
Yeah.
the meta is honestly in a great spot right now.
Yeah, it's
You
pretty
could
sick.
you could almost play anything and have success with like almost anything.
Yeah.
I see people getting like infinite with Orca and stuff like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, true.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think non stonks based on the updates today because I didn't really have a good answer.
Mhm.
But like I think Deathlock. I think Deathlock is not
Mm.
stonks because I think Venom becomes, in my opinion, which is not a good opinion, but I think he becomes a better choice than Deathlock in most decks. And some decks you might want to run both,
Yeah.
but I think if you're choosing between Venom or Deathlock, now I'm like, probably Venom, man,
Yeah,
probably
that's
Venom.
fair. You play a lot of destroy too, so you know your destroy shit. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
because
scrub. I'm a scrub with destroy, so I don't know what I'm doing with those guys.
yeah, I mean, just because there's a lot of times where you have Deathlock in your hand and you have no, like he comes in late in the game
Mhm.
and you have nothing else to play and you want to play him, but he's just like you're gonna blow up your other cards
Yeah,
and
you
you
already have
feel
a board at
horrible
that
about
point.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't play this card. If
Mhm.
you have Venom, then you're like, okay, I can play Venom.
Yeah.
Like, the worst case you get Shang-Chi and like
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
You take that risk. Better than not playing it or blowing up your cards, and then you just have 5 power in the lane only.
Better than
You might as well
Shang-Chi and
take that
yourself.
chance.
You Shang-Chi yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. Self-chi.
Self-Chi, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I had a couple.
So,
One of them is a little bit
all right.
spicy. I don't think you're gonna like it, the kid. I'm sorry. And I could be very wrong, and it's not really like the decks you play at all. But last week, the big topic everyone was talking. What was everyone talking about last week? What was the main topic?
Galactus
Right.
nerf.
So I think Galactus is not stunks because
Yeah.
I think these Nebula decks, they all run a ton of control things that shut down all the lanes, and it's very, very powerful against Galactus. Galactus was already kind of lower win rate kind of deck, but yeah, people play just the standard one. They don't play the Thanos version, the crazy ones you're playing. Um, but just with the standard one, it didn't have a very good win rate, even though everyone's playing the same deck. And also with Patriot, they're all going to run debris. So more debris, more all these nebula controls on the ladder. Less, I think Galactus is pretty good into Darkhawk deck. Darkhawk doesn't have too much of an answer to Galactus. Like you could win
Yeah,
that matchup as the Galactus player, right? So
yeah,
it's like put a rock in their deck, hope they don't draw Galactus. Like that's your answer, right? So, uh, and
yeah.
maybe yeah,
It's
maybe
it's probably
Cosmo.
true.
Like
I mean,
yeah,
I do like, yeah, I do like Galactus. Not the I don't like the generic really Galactus anymore because it's kind of just it gets boring.
yeah,
The wild Galactus ones are fun.
mhm,
They're so fun. I don't even care.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I haven't seen too much. I haven't seen too many
Well,
Galactus on
and
ladder.
I think it's gonna stay that way. That's my not stonks prediction. And I'm not even saying
I
the
hope
deck's
it.
getting weaker. I just think
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
last week it was 10% of players were playing Galactus. I think it's just gonna be
yeah.
lower than that moving forward.
And I'm glad. I hope it stays that way
Yeah.
because I don't want them to change the card. I think the card's fine. I mean, we could maybe change it if it gets too oppressive and it's everywhere all over the meta.
Mhm.
Then maybe it needs a change. But yeah, I think that it's fine the way it is now. There's not too much Galactus that I'm seeing. I'm happy about it.
One other one that's a little bit more nuanced, and again, I could be wrong. It's kind of like you said at the start of this. We're grasping at straws here. The meta's pretty good, so
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think of something a little bit spicy. There's been this kind of standard Sarah control deck that has been really popular for like 3 months at least, or
yeah,
even I've heard since beta. I mean, I didn't play him. I started playing like late December, but the one with you got Scarlet Witch, Angela, Mysterio, Bishop, and then a bunch of tech cards. So Shang-Chi, Enchantress. I think that deck is not stonks because number one, Enchantress just got nerfed, and that was a deck that was always running it, even at 4 power. Number two, Iron Lad sucks in that deck. It's just they're just bad pulls, except Sarah. Sarah's great, but other than that, you're kind of like you're in the struggle. Like, oh, I copied Nova, like whatever, right? And or you just play Killmonger when you don't want to play the Killmonger. And then also going forward, there's Luke Cage is probably awkward to run in that deck too because he's a low power. You're already a low power deck, and for playing high Evo, I don't know about Luke Cage in there. So I think Sarah is going to be more Monkey and Darkhawk variants, being the better ways to play the Sarah control, either the
yeah.
Monkey version or the Darkhawk version, or just play Monkey, with Moon Girl or whatever. But yeah, I think this deck might be kind of on its way down for the next 2 to 4 weeks.
You're talking about just the classic Sarah control,
Yeah, which a couple weeks
not
ago
these Sarah
it was
decks.
like the top deck in Snap before the
Because
Snap
I think
thing came.
Because I think that's a super hot take, and I think the deck's always going to be somewhat relevant
Yeah,
because you have
maybe,
so many
maybe. I
counters.
could be super wrong on this. I'm just kinda
Like it's
looking
kind of like,
forward, and I'm like, "Man, there's a lot of crazy shit coming.
yeah,
I don't know if this deck's gonna handle it the way it is?" Like, I think it
I think
needs a
it'll,
Monkey or a Darkhawk to, keep up, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah, maybe, and that's fine. Like I just pulled up a Sarah Monkey deck here, which is a good deck, and then I think I have a Sarah Darkhawk deck as well, which I think is perfectly fine as well.
Mhm. Well, people
I think
people love the standard one. They love that one.
yeah, it's just because it can handle, especially when there's like new metas and stuff, and
Yeah.
everything's shifting. It just is very consistent.
Mhm.
And it can handle everything. So when you're in like a era of uncertainty,
Mhm.
you go with something that can handle everything, and that deck does handle everything.
I will say I think
Doesn't go.
Sarah as a card is still top 10 in the game. Just, like, unbelievable card.
Yeah, I think that deck's still gonna be great no matter what. Especially when there's uncertain metas, it'll
Mhm.
be great. Especially if you know how to pilot it. But yeah, I think the monkey version's probably better.
Mhm.
You know, but yeah,
Okay, so maybe not stonks.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's go into probably our final topic for today. This has been kind of a hot button topic, for the past couple of weeks. And I think I don't think me and you ever talked about this, but
Mhm.
the second dinner is Marvel Snap's monetization model. like the token system, the money you spend on the game. What are your thoughts on it? Let's start.
Overall,
Let's start. Let's start with the tokens. Let's
mhm,
start with the tokens. How they are now.
yeah.
They made a lot of changes to the token shop. They didn't even have a token shop before.
Well, me and you are pool three complete, so it's we should let the viewers know. Um,
Yeah.
I
And I will. We have to say too that on our way to getting pool 3 complete, we were allowed to buy pool 3 cards for 1,000
that's what I
tokens.
was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. So,
Okay. All right.
that would be
Sorry.
that was my first point was the fact that you can't buy pool three cards anymore kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah.
do we got to add a fourth tab here? That's pool three cards because I think
Yes.
if you're gonna, yeah. So I mean, that's a no brainer, right? If you're gonna monetize the game, any game like this, you should make it as easy as possible for new players. So
Yeah.
like once you already pulled through complete, you've been playing the game for a while. Like you could kind of deal with this. You know when the series drops are coming. Like you know where to look, but you don't know all this shit when you first download the game. So I
No.
think you should make it easier for a newer player experience. Give them a free card and let them buy pool three cards for 1,000. I mean, I don't see why you can't. Like, do you not want to build the decks that you want, have access to them?
Yeah. Yeah. And to boot too, like if you're a new player, like the longer you wait to become a new player, the more cards are in the pool, and the longer it's going to take you to uh, become pool 3 complete.
Hmm.
Because like when I started, how many were in? Like I started end of January. There's like 70 cards in pool 3. Now there's like 85. Like
Yeah,
something like that. I
it's
don't know
like
what
the
it is,
guy
but like
pushing the rock
anyways,
up the hill. The Greek mythology.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was an Atlas. I forget. Anyways,
yeah,
but yeah, it's oh no, Atlas held the world on his
yeah. The
back.
world. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Different.
oh, what the hell's that guy's name? It's gonna
Syphilis or
bother me now.
something.
Anyway,
Syphilis. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sisyphus, maybe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. That's yeah.
But yeah, when it's like 6 months from now and there's 110 pool 3 cards and
Mhm.
you're starting the game, you're n- you're gonna quit after a month. You're gonna say, "Screw this. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous."
because the ones you get are random, so you can't really build decks with just random stray cards that you get from the collection track. And then even the one that you get for free, it's I thought when they first announced that they were gonna let you pick one for free, but it's on an 8-hour rotation. So imagine if you have like 55 pool three cards not unlocked and you gotta wait 8 hours. Like, would like
Yeah,
by
it's
the end of the
bad.
month, you might not even see the card. That like, what if you were sleeping while the card, and then you're never gonna see it for the rest of the month. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm
No.
fine with it because I'm comfortable spending money on a game that I play a lot of hours personally.
Yeah. Yep.
So in that sense, but I think in general, any card game should be able to pick the cards you want. Like in Hearthstone,
Yeah.
you get to craft the things into dust, and with the dust, you can, if you want to buy a legendary, it's expensive, but you can do it. You could pick the cards you want. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, you pick the cards you want. Why do we not get to pick our cards here? Like it's that's the to me that's the strangest thing about this whole system is that all the cards are just random.
Well, I also don't know why they wouldn't want more people to have a lot of the cards quicker,
Yeah.
because then they like the game more, they play more of the game, then they're more inclined to spend more money,
Every single
you
one of my
know?
real life friends that I've talked to that's played this game, like I have 3 or 4 other ones that play, and you included, everyone has a different kind of play style that decks that they enjoy. Some of
Yeah.
them like more control, some of them like just destroy everything, wombo combo, more just tempo type of stuff. And it's not a fun user experience when you're just getting a bunch of random cards that don't go together because how are you going to get to the type of play style you want to play if you're just getting random cards and there's 100 in pool three and you can't even unlock them in the token shop?
Yeah, you get like Hella, then like your next card is like,
Patriot.
a
Yeah.
Patriot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, these
Yeah.
cards don't go together. What am I gonna do with my pool? Put them with pool 2
Yeah.
cards
Then
and
here's
like,
Human Torch, and it's like, oh, okay. Then Wasp.
yeah.
Then you get Wasp. And it's like, all right, well,
So
you know.
I honestly think like putting a pool 3, a series 3, whatever,
Mhm.
tab in the token shop. for let people buy them for 1,000 tokens again.
Yeah, and
You know,
we don't see them. It
and
it
give
doesn't
them
change it for us,
and give
so
them
yeah.
yeah, and I don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather more people play,
Yeah, same.
and and give people a free card as well,
Mhm.
and give them a free card every month.
Yeah.
You know, do that as well because like yeah, you know they got to be making a ton of money on variants too. Like you know they make a shit ton of money on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know why they wouldn't want more people to have more cards. Um, that's how I feel about that. What do
Um,
you feel about
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying on the variant thing, I'm all for, just going bonkers on variants.
Yeah,
If they want to even let out you see how all these variants you could pay with gold?
yeah,
If they want to do one that's exclusive and you could only pay $20 and it's like visible for 10 minutes randomly one day. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like some crazy shit, you know? Like, oh, like
yeah,
surprise variant, like it's available for 25 minutes, like, you know what I mean? And you have to pay 20
yeah,
bucks for it. I'm all
yeah,
for and then it just goes away forever. So if you're like the
yeah,
guy who gets that and then you get to show it off and you get to clip it, right? And
yeah,
you could post it on Twitter and it's like, "Oh, yeah, you're never going to get this variant that I got." It's like exclusive, like rare, right? So,
yeah,
stuff like that to monetize, I think is great. It doesn't affect the game at all. So,
yeah. I
any
think they're
cosmetic stuff like that, like go nuts, monetize the shit out of all of it.
yeah. I think they're gonna start to do that. By remember that they're gonna put first editions so when you spend 6K,
Mhm,
like your Iron Lad would have
mhm.
had will have a first edition badge because you bought it when it was 6K.
Oh, nice, nice.
Once they put that in. So it'll be like, "Oh, I bought it when it was I have the first edition." Like
Mhm,
this is, they're going to implement something like that. But yeah, that's a great idea. But like for the new card acquisition, don't do that to the new players, man. Like
mhm.
these poor people. What do you think about big bads?
I think they're fine. I know people hate them, but I think they're fine. I just think it'd be nice if in a month every new card that came out wasn't 6K. Make the first one 3K, second one 3K, then maybe the next two are 6K. But I'm okay with the big bad. I understand why people hate them, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with it personally.
I feel the exact same as you. The big
Mhm,
bads don't bother me. I
mhm.
think it's fine to have cards that are always going to be 6K.
Yeah.
I don't care. And if they're the best cards in the game, then that's how they want to make people spend their tokens.
Mhm,
I'm fine with it. But yeah, I think that the new cards that come out, like Snow Guard being 6K,
mhm.
come on.
Yeah.
Put that right in series 3.
Even the
Don't
duck, like
even
the
put
duck's
it
coming out next. Like, I mean, it's a cool card. You can't
yeah.
spend 6K on Howard the Duck. Like,
No, put him in Series 4 because
yeah.
some of these cards that aren't as good should just be starting in Series 4.
Hmm.
Like Iron Lad seems like a wild card with a wild mechanic.
Hmm.
Keep him at Series 5 and
Hmm.
let him drop.
Yeah.
Then like yeah, you get cards like Howard the Duck. Like okay, so I'm gonna have to wait like 4 months to get Howard the Duck
Yeah.
in Series 3
Hmm.
if I want to play with him. I'm not spending 3K on him or
No.
Snow Guard too for that matter. I'll never spend
No,
3K.
no, don't spend
That'll
anything.
that'll be a, that'll be a free card for me.
Mhm.
Like why make people wait 4 months to get those crappy cards?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and I guess the last thing I want to talk about with the whole monetization stuff are the season passes. I want to get your thoughts on season pass.
Well, what do you think? You go first this time. We'll mix it up.
So okay, fine.
Mhm.
So season passes I think are great, and I don't know I personally can't see how anyone would ever chirp season passes at all. How people don't think they're getting enough rewards. It's the best value in the game. It's $10.
Mhm.
So people are like, oh, $10 is a lot to spend on a game. Like, okay, if you people, this is how people spend $10 on a coffee at Starbucks for
Mhm.
God's sake.
Yeah.
So you can say, all right, when you go to Starbucks with your girlfriend, boyfriend, your mom, your dad, whatever, you say, "All right, I'm sitting this one out. I'm not getting a coffee, and I'm gonna have a month of fun on Marvel Snap,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give up 1 or 2 coffees." If you get like a black medium coffee from Starbucks, like 4 or $5.
Mhm.
So you give up 2 coffees from Starbucks a month,
Mhm.
you buy some piss water at McDonald's for your caffeine, and then you get your season pass. Like $10
I
is
like
not
the
a lot of money.
McDonald's coffee personally. I'm into it.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. Like,
It's pretty good.
I'm just saying, like, people spend $10 on the dumbest crap ever,
Mhm.
and then if you're gonna play at least an hour in this game, like, is $10 worth like of fun plus all the perks worth? You know, Is that worth your time?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I agree with everything you're saying. And the only thing I would add would be um, piggybacking off the big bad thing. I hope they never make the season pass card a big bad. That's gotta like the way it is now. I think it's great because at least
Yeah.
if you don't want to spend the $10, at least if you want the option to be a free to play player, then at least you do get the card in 3 to 4 months, right? Like,
Yeah.
people are going to be getting Surfer now, like in a week or two, right? That we're gonna finally be just like you can just get Silver Surfer for free, and
Yeah.
next month you're gonna get Zabu for free,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's
But
great.
yeah, I
It should never be a big bad as the season pass card. That would be my one
yeah.
thing. So the way it is now is great.
Yeah, I don't think it yeah, I don't think it ever will. But like $10 a month is not a big commitment. People
Mhm.
you know, you'll buy a fucking Twix bar for $2.
Inflation, babe.
Don't eat 5 chocolate bars for the month. If you're gonna go out and you're gonna spend money on something stupid, don't.
Mhm,
Say, I'm this one time I'm not going to.
mhm,
You guys buy your Starbucks Frappuccino
mhm,
for $10. I'm gonna sit this one out and I'm gonna buy a Marvel Snap season pass instead. Because I guarantee all the free to play players are spending dumb money on stuff. Most, the vast majority, not everyone.
mhm.
I bet most are spending dumb money like that
You
just
never
to
know.
say that they're free to just say that they're free to play in this game.
Mhm,
A lot of people they kind of pride themselves on being free to play, but like I think it's fine to spend money on games if you're having fun. If you're having fun with something, I think it's fine to spend money on.
I respect people that do it. It's like if you play a game
Yeah,
like
so do I.
hardcore mode, and you're never gonna die, like a ARPG or something. You're playing on hardcore.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
respect it. You're playing on hard mode, like respect. But I personally don't mind spending the. For me, it's like 13
yeah,
Canadian a month. I'm chilling.
yeah. I no, I do respect it. Don't get me wrong. I
Mhm,
respect the free to play player.
mhm.
I don't respect complaining about $10
Yeah,
for everything that you get, which is it's ridiculous.
I
I
think
know
though.
some people are saying like, oh, we need to give better rewards. Like, don't give boosters, which yeah, boosters suck.
Mhm.
No one cares about getting boosters,
Yeah,
but
they're
like
useless.
all the other stuff you get is insane.
Yeah,
Like
the
it's
gold,
just
the
like
credits, the variants are all awesome, and just the card. Like you get a free card too. You know.
the value for $10 is wild. And maybe if people like don't want to spend $10, maybe they make a gold option for the season pass. Like what's the 10,000 equivalent of gold or
Or-
$10 equivalent of gold? 700.
Mhm.
So make the season pass cost 700
Yeah,
gold
yeah. There you go.
as well, or you
Mhm.
pay $10 or 700 gold.
I don't think they're gonna do that because if they did that,
No, they
I
won't.
would pay gold every month.
Yeah, but then I just buy more gold.
But I
So
feel like I'm always floating like 1.5 to 2K gold that even after the token Tuesdays.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
guess
yeah. No,
that's
on the
because
missions and
I'm
stuff.
spending $10 on the pass, so you get it for free from the pass. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, and the missions and stuff. Like
Yeah,
you get a good amount of
yeah, you get
gold.
a lot of gold. Yeah,
So I think like if you're gonna spend money on this game, the season pass you do every month. It's a no brainer. I think.
yeah,
And I think you do just fine because you get so much rewards, you get cool cards, and I don't think you really have to spend money on anything else. But
yeah.
I don't know. But I think yeah. So pool 3, I think they should just bring that back in the token shop.
Hmm.
Big bads, it seems like we're kind of okay with. Ultimate variants, I don't think anyone gives a shit about. It's just for the whales.
Yeah, yeah.
Like whatever, if you want to spend 5K on a variant, that's
I'm
good,
not
good,
touching
good
those
for
for
you.
a very long time.
Well, yeah, once you're like pool 5 and everything complete, and you have
Yeah,
40,000 tokens, you
yeah,
see something, you're like, oh, baby Hulk, that looks great.
yeah.
I'll buy it.
Hmm.
Or if you're a content creator and you just like it's a tax write off for you, then good for you.
Hmm.
But yeah. So anyways, spend money on this game, have fun.
Hmm.
Don't go to Starbucks. Not Stonks, Starbucks.
Budgeting with the kid.
Budgeting with the kid. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this week, man.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts?
That was a good pod. We had a long talk there, and you know, everybody out there, enjoy yourself. Don't feel bad if you don't have the lad. He's kind of wild. I still don't know how good he is, to be honest. Um, save those tokens for high evo, and I'll see you in the mirror match next week. Or
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah, yeah.
In 2 weeks.
All right. Peace out. Peace out.